Hi, and welcome back to 35 Crosby Core and Shell Project. I'm Greg Escreezy, Project Manager. We're standing here next to the West Entry lobby, which we're getting ready to put our final finishes in. We've got our lights all in and wired up and ready to go. We're working on our polished concrete floor here, and then we'll have a new aluminum walk-off mat going in at the west entrance. Outside the West Entry lobby here, we've got our sidewalks ready to get formed and poured very soon. We're setting the curb now. We'll get everything regraded for the new accessible parking spaces out front. We've got also 14 spaces of electric chargers going in here. One last thing here at 35 Crosby, our freight elevator shaft is at this point complete and ready to go. TK Elevator has installed our hydraulic jack, and at this point we're just waiting for the cab equipment to arrive and begin that install in the next couple weeks.
All right, welcome back to the Persimmon Fit Out at 35 Crosby here in Bedford, Mass. So since last month, we've had some pretty significant updates. The biggest being our in-wall inspections were completed yesterday. So all the MEPs as well as the building in-walls are complete. So we'll see on the second floor as well as the first floor, we started to board and tape. As we go through the space, we'll see we've got a lot of equipment starting to show up. So VAVs, heating coils, things like that for MEP rough overhead are in progress. And then we have a lot of equipment starting to show up within the next month or so. So RTUs, secondary air handlers, and then our generator came in earlier this month. So we're starting to release our dunnage. That'll start to come in next month, and then we'll start to land some units. All right, so we've made some progress on the lobby renovations here. We focused mostly on some clean room areas and lab areas, but now we're starting to do some of the lobby upgrades. So we're working on some of the reworking of existing lighting, replacing with new. We've done our new gyp board here. We're starting to tape that, get that ready for paint, and then working on a few existing overhead things here, retrofitting again with some new lighting as well. So over the next month or so, this will start to take shape. All right, so over here, we're completing our MEP overhead for the second floor clean rooms. Right now, we've cleared the space out. We're going to start our layout for the clean room ceiling system. So on the first floor, we'll see that next, that we've actually started to do the rough work for that, and then we'll move up here, getting ready for panels late next month. So here in the High Bay area, we've completed our foundation reinforcing work. We've taken all of our shoring down, and we've actually started to get some of our steel to the site. So these guys are starting to put that in to reinforce the second level of this mechanical access area to get ready for some of our secondaries. And then we'll start to move to the next level up here to do our bracing to get ready for our R2 that goes up on the roof. Okay, so on the first floor, just like the second, we've got our in-wall inspections completed yesterday. So we've started boarding and taping. So here, this is our clean room area. So we're focused on board and tape in the client entrance and conference area, as well as the reliability lab and receiving area. Behind me right now, our clean room vendor is working on hanging the ceiling grid system. Once we get that completed, we'll get ready for wall panel systems later on in April. And then we'll move up to the second floor for board and tape. So we've completed our slab reinforcement for the waffle slab here on the first floor so that we could remove our columns. Our first area was completed earlier this month, and we just completed this area over here. So we've broken all the shoring down. We've released this whole space back to the MEPs. Right now the guys are fast at work on replacing a few areas of conduit that we took down to do the work, as well as the rest of the overhead that was in this area. So this is the area of our first slab reinforcing we completed earlier this month. So we've got our concrete breaks, we're up to strength. We've taken all the shoring down here and released this back to the MEPs. We've got a bunch of base building conduit that's been run through here. We took a little bit of extra coordination on this before we put it back to get above some of the ductwork for the Persimmon fit out. That lets us keep the minimum duct height or a clear space for the warehouse here. So everything's nice and tight, nice and tidy, ready for us to wrap up the overhead MEPs.
So in March, we are placing, behind me, you can see the concrete slab for the mechanical rooms, and that includes our water room, our tel data, our fire pump room, and our electrical room. So that was placed, and today we're working on getting the 4-foot CMU knee walls in place, which will allow us to move into framing, which will happen in April. And so that opens us up for our in-wall electrical, and also to get everything placed into these rooms, including our fire pump and our tel data equipment. In April, you'll see that we're going to be dens grading our loading dock slab area and our stair 2 slab area, which will open us up for vapor burying and reinforcing that area before the slabs are poured.
So this month here at 75 Jackson, one of our main focuses here is at the south of the building, particularly the main entrance corner at the southwest. We've completed our IMP insulated metal panel install. We have ACM arriving this week, and which will be starting the pilasters, working up to the eyebrow and some of the canopies. We've also put our full height curtain wall frames, the uppers and lowers in. In terms of site work and hardscape, we've poured 3 of our seat walls, 1 of our numbered signage foundations. We've worked in the utility yard, subgrading that, placing our transformer pads. We'll be pouring the exterior switching station pad by the end of next week, and we'll be transitioning to granite curbing, which is scheduled for 4/22, and from there we'll start our sidewalk prep and some light baller bases. So at the north of the building here, we have the northwest corner where the AVB has been installed. We have our base flashing that's going to be going in this week, and then Z-girts and mineral wool insulation will follow. The truss button ACM panels are in fabrication, are expected to be here by the end of the month. We also have our storefronts along 13 line that are in the precast openings. Those have been installed along with glazing, and we're working on our caulking and primary seal now. And then at the northeast portion of the building, we've wrapped up our framing, a little bit of sheathing at the ACM infills, and we'll be progressing to the recessed curtain walls to install our box columns, which will be the jambs for the recessed curtain walls.
Up here at Phillips Academy, working on the Graves Hall renovation project. We're standing inside the first floor of this building here, which used to be the music center for the students of Phillips Academy. Working on a full demolition of the interior of the building here. Going to be bringing it back up for office space for higher ed personnel. Down on the first floor here, we completely gutted the entire partition walls, flooring. We'll be putting new carpet, VCT, and new finishes throughout the space. We are in the early stages of construction. We're just about wrapped up with demolition. We're moving into our coordination sequence of construction. We just got our mechanical, electrical, fire protection, and plumbing subs on board. Over the next month, we'll be going through that coordination process, making sure that everything fits inside the building in the space and the existing conditions as it stands. Starting with underground trenching and plumbing underground over the next couple of weeks, working our way up from below the ground and going up into the ceiling and doing our ductwork and electrical and plumbing install, and as well as fire protection. We're up here on the second floor at Graves Hall, standing in what will be a multi-purpose large conference room for the faculty of Phillips Academy. There are a lot of historical elements of this building on the inside and outside that we are going to be preserving and doing a small restoration on in order to bring it back up to what it used to be. There's a lot of historical elements in the lobby spaces, in terms of old woodwork that was built back in the late 1800s, and we are refinishing that and bringing it back up to what it was. Up here on the third floor at Graves Hall, we've almost completed our demolition process up here. One of the main points of logistical concern was the old air handler that was loaded in through the roof back during their renovation in the 80s, which was upstairs in the attic space here. Very tight quarters, a lot of ductwork on top of each other. It was just a logistical coordination effort with our demo sub to get all that material out of here, cut it up and drop it down in order to remove it